Joe Gibbs warned Kyle Busch for 2023. What with Joe Gibbs's warning to Kyle Busch? Is it something serious or more like a suggestion to Kyle? Well, you will get to know it in today's video. Welcome back to NASCAR Zone, you all. Also press the bell icon below for more. A statement to this effect was made at the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Busch will be driving for Childress in the number 8 Chevrolet. It was on his middle fingers that he displayed the 2 Cup championship rings that he had earned while racing for Gibbs. When asked about his impending move to the team that is located around 1 hour north of Charlotte, Busch stated,
"Excited to announce that I'll be taking my talents to Welcome, North Carolina to drive the number 8 car for Richard Childress Racing starting in 2023.
The number 8 Chevrolet driven by Tyler Reddick. Childress was informed in November by Reddick that he will be heading to 2311 racing in 2023. According to Richard Childress, he told Reddick that he wouldn't be driving for them in the number 8 next season 1 hour before Kyle Busch made his statement.
Tyler Reddick, I met with him about an hour ago, and I explained to him that he wasn't going to drive the 8 car next year. We've got a contract for him to drive for RCR next year.
Will Richard Childress Racing team consist of 3 charter cup teams in 2023?
Yes, we will have 3 charters.
And Tyler Reddick will drive that other charter team? And Tyler Reddick will drive for that other charter team?
Yes.
When Childress joined Busch for the announcement, the Hall of Fame team owner awarded Brexton, Busch's son, with a contract option to eventually drive for RCR. Brexton is just 7 years old. But before that, Childress presented Busch with a box watch that he referred to as his signing bonus. Childress and Busch got into it after the Truck Series race at Kansas Speedway in 2011, and Childress won. Before the argument broke out, the owner of the vehicle took off his watch, handed it to another person, and said, "Hold my watch." Following the incident, NASCAR issued a punishment of $150,000 on Childress. Childress and Busch, who is now 37 years old, made apologies a long time ago, which helped RCR become a landing site for Busch during his excruciatingly lengthy free agency period. Busch was able to sign with RCR. Gibbs had been looking for a deep-pocketed sponsor to retain Busch in the number 18 Toyota when JGR heard that long-standing partner Mars Wrigley will be departing the sport at the end of 2022. Busch even indicated he'd drive for below his market worth to get a deal done. But as the year progressed and Busch's plans for 2023 made little forward, he was forced to look elsewhere for both his own Cup seat and a landing spot for Kyle Busch Motorsports, the Truck Series team he owns and operates. KBM will now operate as a Chevrolet organization. However, Busch stated that all aspects pertaining to KBM, including how many trucks it would field in the upcoming season, are still in the process of being decided.
And when you think about it with us, 15 years, that was awesome. And, you know, just really appreciate that so much. And we know Mars is leaving, but that was a thrill to be with them for that amount of time. And so I just think, you know, we worked hard at trying to get everything done there. We couldn't.
When you look at everything that he has achieved so far, it is absolutely extraordinary. And we know that someday we will be celebrating his entry into the Hall of Fame, said his teammates. If you're enjoying the video, please subscribe to the channel. But what about the rumors that Joe Gibbs is warning Kyle Busch for 2023? The switch to RCR and Chevrolet, which is Busch's rival team, is a devastating blow to Toyota, which has been with Busch since he joined JGR and has propelled him to all but 4 of his 60 career Cup victories. Aside from being the most successful driver in the higher-level Xfinity Series, Busch is also the most successful driver in the lower-level Truck Series, and the KBM Truck Squad is a significant contributor to Toyota's supremacy in that series. But Toyota was unable to find Busch a spot in its limited fleet. JGR and 2311 combined for a Cup Series, low 6 full-time entries. Thus, Busch was allowed to go on to Chevrolet. Because of all that, one of the best drivers in NASCAR history is done for Toyota. The company heaped praise on the driver whom it regards as a candidate for induction into the Hall of Fame. The manufacturer expressed their displeasure and sadness in a statement, saying that they were disappointed and grieved that the driver will not be continuing his career with Team Toyota. Since he first became involved with the program in 2008, Kyle has served as an ambassador for Toyota. Since then, he has amassed some of the most illustrious achievements and accolades that can be bestowed upon the Toyota brand. For the foreseeable future, he will probably continue to maintain the record for the most victories achieved in a Toyota across all 3 championship series. But more than that, Kyle has been a friend, and he has been a part of our family. Additionally, via his ownership of Kyle Busch Motorsports, he has played a vital role in the growth of several of our drivers. As Kyle enters the next stage of his Hall of Fame career, we want him and his whole family to know that we hope nothing but the very best for them. We are grateful to have been able to accompany you on this journey. Since the beginning of the speculations that Busch would transfer to the organization, Childress has stated that the atmosphere at his shop and welcome has been electric.
I said, man, I'm excited, Jim. He said, you don't have to tell me, I can hear it in your voice. So we got that done, but that's it for me. I looked at him in his eye, and I seen that look in Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s eye that he's hungry. We're going to win.
Driving with Childress, Earnhardt won 6 of his 7 Cup championships throughout the course of his career. Reddick and Austin Dillon are also competing for a spot in this year's playoff field for RCR, which has not won a Cup title since Earnhardt. However, RCR has not been victorious in a championship race since Earnhardt won his last championship in 1994. Reddick has won 2 races so far this season, and he is now 11th in the standings for the playoffs. Austin Dillon, who secured the final slot in the playoffs by winning the regular season final, is currently ranked 14th in the standings as the Cup Series prepares to compete in the elimination race on Saturday night at Bristol Motor Speedway. Do you know whose grandson is he? Let us know in the comment section below. If you're a true fan, you will know it. Also press the bell icon below for more. After Reddick surprised RCR with his plans to quit in 2024, Dillon, according to Childress, was the one who pushed for his grandpa to have a conversation with Busch.
My grandson, Austin Dillon, he's here today, driver number 3. He came to me and said, Pop, what do you think about putting Kyle Busch in that car?
Busch will now be driving for Chevrolet, the brand he began his career with when he was a teenager and signed a development driver deal with Hendrick Motorsports. Busch's transfer to RCR brings him back to Chevrolet. He made his Cup debut for Hendrick when he was 19 years old and won 4 races over the course of 3 seasons while driving the number 5 Chevrolet. The number 5 Chevrolet is the same number that is presently being used by champion Kyle Larson. Busch was let go by Hendrick at the end of 2007, shortly after Dale Earnhardt Jr. became available since Hendrick was unable to put up with Busch's unpredictable conduct any longer. Gibbs gave Busch a longer leash, and Gibbs also worked with Hall of Fame driver Tony Stewart. Busch thanked Gibbs for being patient with me. Gibbs won 3 Super Bowls with the Washington Redskins, and Gibbs also employed Hall of Fame driver Tony Stewart.
You guys took a chance on a 15-year-old kid to let me drive your race car, and you know, we hit the ground running and we haven't stopped since. I'm thankful to Joe and for allowing me to be a kid and to grow into a man most days.
Tell us your thoughts about the 2 in the comment section below. So guys, that's all for today's videos. If you like this video, then give the video a thumbs up and smash the subscribe button so that you will never miss any updates.